What's up everyone, this is John and you're watching Movienewz.com's What's Coming to Netflix, where I tell you everything you need to know about the best upcoming titles being added to Netflix this month, so you can decide if they're worth your time or not. If you're looking forward to any of the movies or series in this video, smash the like button and let me know. So let's get started.
When you're gone, how do you want to be remembered?
Selena, the series, returns for a second season, starring The Walking Dead's Christian Serratos as the Queen of Tejano music. Season 1 followed the early years of the Quintanilla family band, documenting their hard work, sacrifices, and success, told mainly from the point of view of Selena's father and brother. Season 2 is expected to focus more on her rise to superstardom, her sold-out concerts, crossover potential, and the eventual cost of fame. Selena, the series, Season 2 will premiere May 4th.
Mr. Ward, how would you like to make $50 million?
From visionary filmmaker Zack Snyder comes the highly anticipated Army of the Dead, which follows Dave Bautista's character, a diner cook with a background in special forces, who is recruited to join a group of mercenaries to pull off a $200 million heist in a Las Vegas casino during a zombie outbreak. The mission will require the team to venture into a dangerous quarantine zone filled with intelligent and fast flesh-eating tourists, undead showgirls, and zombie tigers. Army of the Dead is Snyder's second film centered around the living dead, after his directorial debut with the 2004 remake of George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. Army of the Dead will be released in select theaters on May 14th and then on Netflix on May 21st.
You have to be the ideal.
No one can live up to the ideal.
Based on the Image Comics graphic novel Jupiter's Legacy by Mark Millar and Frank Quitely, this live-action adaptation tells the story of young superheroes who must continue the legacy of a group of aging superheroes known as the Union. Hungry to prove their worth, tensions rise as they struggle to live up to their parents' legendary public reputations and standards. Jupiter's Legacy stars Josh Duhamel, Leslie Bibb, Andrew Horton, and Elena Kampouris. This is one comic book fans won't want to miss when it premieres May 7th.
All they see is another black man with a rap sheet.
Starring the high notes Kelvin Harrison Jr., Jeffrey Wright, and Jennifer Hudson, Monster tells the story of a 17-year-old honor student whose world comes crashing down around him when he's charged with felony murder. The film follows a dramatic journey from a smart, likable film student through a complex legal battle that could leave him spending the rest of his life in prison. Filmed back in 2018, Monster is finally getting a release on Netflix, May 7th.
This is a safe place. I'm agoraphobic. I can't go outside.
Based on the best-selling 2018 novel, The Woman in the Window, Amy Adams stars in this Hitchcockian psychological thriller about an agoraphobic woman who finds herself watching a family across the street through the windows. But her life is turned upside down when she witnesses a brutal crime. The Woman in the Window co-stars Gary Oldman, Brian Tyree Henry, Julianne Moore, and Jennifer Jason Leigh. The movie has actually changed hands a few times since it went into production back in 2018, with 20th Century Fox's sister studio, Fox 2000 Pictures. But when Disney acquired the studio, they sold the movie to Netflix. You can finally see The Woman in the Window on May 14th.
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, my hand.
The adult animated anthology series Love, Death, and Robots is back. The first season consisted of 18 shorts spanning sci-fi, comedy, and horror, all dealing with love, death, and robots. For season 2, show creator Tim Miller and director David Fincher teamed up with Jennifer Yu Nelson, the Oscar-nominated director of Kung Fu Panda 2 and 3, as supervising director. Together, they worked with talented and diverse animation directors from around the world for a blend of styles and stories ranging from violent comedy to existential philosophy. Volume 2 of Love, Death, and Robots will premiere May 14th.
Mon, I know you. The one thing you don't know how to do is stop.
From executive producer Ryan Murphy, the limited series, Halston, follows the legendary fashion designer played by Ian McGregor as he leverages his single invented name into a worldwide fashion empire that's synonymous with luxury, status, and fame, literally defining the era he lives in, 1970s and 80s New York, until a hostile takeover forces him to battle for control of his most precious asset, the name Halston itself. Halston premieres on Netflix May 14th. Oxygen is a French sci-fi thriller that tells the story of a young woman who wakes up in a cryogenic pod. She doesn't remember who she is or how she ended up there. As she's running out of oxygen, she must rebuild her memory to find a way out of her nightmare. The premise may remind you of the 2010 Ryan Reynolds thriller Buried, in which he wakes up to find that he's been buried alive inside a coffin with only a lighter and a cell phone. You can watch Oxygen on Netflix May 12th.
When have I ever let you down?
Look, Benny, it's your baby mama.
Comedian Mike Epps and The Facts of Life and Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Kim Fields star in the new sitcom The Upshaws. The series centers on a working-class family in Indianapolis struggling to make it work, with an adult firstborn son, 2 young daughters, a teenage son from another woman, and a meddling sister-in-law played by Wanda Sykes. Executive produced by Epps and Sykes, The Upshaws premieres on May 12th.
They totally ignored the true story of this case.
In the late 1970s, David Berkowitz, aka the Son of Sam, terrified New York City for more than a year. Since then, there have been numerous movies, books, and articles written about the Son of Sam serial murderers, many of which do not look beyond the original police investigation. The new documentary, The Sons of Sam: A Descent into Darkness, based on the book The Ultimate Evil by author Maury Terry, draws on archival news footage, conversations with people closest to the investigation, and the author's own words and case files, to speculate that Berkowitz did not act alone. I'll be checking this one out for sure. The Sons of Sam: A Descent into Darkness will arrive on Netflix May 5th. So that's what's coming to Netflix. Netflix adds new movies and series to its library each week. Want to know what's new to watch on Netflix today? Check out the next video.